Okay, hello everyone. Now today guys, we'll take lesson 3, page 915, classify triangles. In the previous lesson, we talked about we said the regular polygon is a polygon with congruent sides and congruent angles. And we talk some of special polygons like triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, and octagon by the number of the sides. Today, we will talk about a special polygon. We call it triangle. What is the triangle, guys? The triangle is a polygon with 3 sides. A triangle is a polygon with 3 sides. But before we start classifying the triangles, let's remember together, guys, the 3 types of angles. Remember? You took types of angles before. So the 3 types of angles, we have 3 types of them. The angle, something like this, we call it angle. Angle. We have 3 types of angles, guys. Acute angle, right angle, and obtuse angle. The acute angle, it's the small angle, which has a measure less than 90 degrees, like this one, small angles. The right angle always has a measure 90 degrees, and it has this small square to know that this angle is 90 degrees, and we call it right angle. The obtuse angle, the big angles, which has a measure less than 90 and less than 180, like this one, This one, we call it obtuse. This one, we call it acute. This one, we call it right. Now, the triangle, if you see this triangle, has 3 sides and 3 angles. 3 sides and 3 angles. To classify a triangle, we will classify it depending on 2 types of classification. The first one, depending on its sides. So here, let's start how to classify the triangle based on the sides lengths. So here what we will say, classifying triangles based on sides lengths. We have 3 names of the triangle depending on the sides length. The first one, we call it scalene. Scalene triangle. What is the scalene triangle? It is a triangle with different sides lengths. A triangle with no equally sides lengths. In the scalene triangle, no congruent sides. ما في congruent sides. Like, for example, this triangle. For example, 3 meter, 5 meter, 4 meter. So we have a triangle with 3 different sides, no congruent sides. Means what we call it? Scalene triangle. Type 2, focus guys. Type 2, we call it isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. In the isosceles triangle, we have 2 congruent sides. 2 congruent sides. Like, for example, look here, guys. 3 meter, 3 meter, 2 meter. We have two sides have the same length. At this case, we call it isosceles. Type 3, we call it equilateral. Equilateral triangle. In the equilateral triangle, guys, we have 3 congruent sides. Like, for example, 5 meter, 5 meter, 5 meters. So, if we have no congruent sides, we call it scalene triangle. 2 congruent sides, we call it isosceles triangle. 3 congruent sides, we call it equilateral, not a quadrilateral. We have 2 similar words here. Quadrilateral, which is the polygon with 4 sides. We took it in the previous lesson. Quadrilateral. Equilateral, from equal, equal. Equilateral triangle, it is a triangle with 3 equal sides. This is the 3 names for what? Sides lengths. Sides lengths. Now we have another classification. Another classification. The first one we said it's about the sides lengths, right? Now the second one, guys, it's about the angles measures. So here, classifying triangles based on angles measures. Here we classify it based on the sides lengths. Here we classify it based on the angle measures. We will. Type 1, focus guys. Type 1, we call it acute triangle. In the acute triangle, the 3 angles are acute angles, means less than 90, means small angles, like this one. So here in the acute triangle, it has 3 acute angles. Like, look here at the angles here, guys. They are small, less than 90. This we call it acute triangle. 3 acute angles inside. Type 2, we call it right. This is important. Right triangle. What is the right triangle? It is a triangle has 1 right angle and 2 acute angles. How we know it? Always has this small square here. This small square means the angle here is how much? 90 degrees. So at this case, what we call this triangle? Right triangle. The other 2 angles are what? Acute. Here, the 3 are acute. Type 3. Obtuse triangle. In the obtuse triangle, guys, we have one obtuse angle and 2 acute angles. So in the obtuse triangle, it has 1 angle like this one, big one. Like, for example, look. This is the big one, see it? And these 2 angles here are small. So we have obtuse angle and 2 acute angles. So what we call it? Obtuse triangle. Now look here in these two sections. Any triangle has two names. A name for its sides lengths, a name for its angle measures. In the sides lengths, we have three types. If there is no congruent sides, we call it a scalene. Two congruent sides, we call it isosceles. Three congruent sides, we call it equilateral. The names for angles measures, if we have three acute angles, we call it acute triangle. If we have one right angle, we call it right triangle. If we have one obtuse angle, we call it obtuse triangle. But which one we will use? This one or this one, depending on the question. If the question wants the name depending on the sides lengths, you will use one of these three. If the question wants the name depending on angles measures, you will use one of these three. But if the question wants the two names, you will use both. Okay? For example, look here and focus with me. This triangle here, 30 degree, 50 degree, and خلي هذه 70 degree, and here 80 degree. Here 6 meter, 8 meter, 9 meter. Here I have angles and I have sides lengths. I can tell two names for this triangle. For the sides lengths, the three sides are different. So what we call it? Scalene. And the three angles are less than 90. The three angles are acute. So what we call it? Acute triangle. So here I can name the triangle in two names. Scalene, acute triangle, depending on the question. So let's do some exercises in our book now. If you understand it, if you don't, you can ask me for sure. We are on page 916. Question 1. Yeah. If you understand it, guys, you can answer. If you don't, you can ask me. You can ask me. Put your hands. So, Muhammad.
Yes, mister.
Question 1, ya Muhammad. Do you understand what I was talking here about?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see question 1, page 916. See it?
Page, yes, mister.
Yalla, read the question. Classify
the triangles. Classify the triangle based on its sides. How many sides of the triangle are congruent?
How many sides we have congruent sides? Have the same length?
We have 2.
2 sides. So in the first space here, guys, you put 2. Mumtaz Muhammad. So here we have 2 congruent sides. But the other question down, continue Muhammad. If we have 2 congruent sides, what we call it? The triangle is an
isosceles triangle.
Isosceles. No, read it with me. Isosceles.
Isosceles triangle.
Mumtaz. Isosceles triangle because we have 2 equal sides. We said here, if we have 2 congruent sides, we call it isosceles. Mumtaz Muhammad. So in the second space, you write isosceles triangle. Mumtaz Muhammad. Question 2. Omar, put your hands, guys. Put your hands. Participate.
Yes. Question 2. Classify the triangle based on its angle.
حلو. طلع على الangles. Big, small, right. What we have here?
They are they are less than 90 degrees.
Good. So what we call it?
Acute angle.
So we have 3 acute angles. If we have 3 acute angles, what we call the triangle?
Acute triangle.
ممتاز. So in here we write acute triangle. This is a question 2. In the next page, page 917 now. Yalla. Page 917, question 3. Zaid.
Yes, Mr.
Yalla.
Mr. I didn't understand the angles. The triangle. The angle.
What? Yabni, the angles, we have 3 types. You know them?
Yes, I know, but I don't know. I didn't understand.
ركز معي. I'm asking you something. Answer me and don't talk. You have 3 types of angles. Do you know them?
Yes.
What's the acute angle?
I don't know.
ما انت بتحكي yes I know. هلا بتحكي لي I don't know. What is the acute angle? ماشي. What is the acute angle?
I know its names, but I don't know the
acute angle يا ابني. It has measure less than 90. Small angles. See? Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Right angle, it has measured 90 degree. And we know it by this square. Got it?
Okay.
Obtuse angle, it has angle measure more than 90. Big angles, big opening. See this one and this one. This is a small opening. This is big opening. Look here. This one, acute or obtuse?
Acute.
This one, acute or obtuse?
Obtuse.
And this one is what?
Right.
Good. So you understand the 3 types, okay?
Yes.
Now, in the triangle, if the 3 angles are acute, we call it?
Acute triangle.
If we have one angle right, we call it?
Right triangle.
If we have one angle obtuse, we call it?
Obtuse triangle.
Do you understand them now?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Good. Let's go to do question 3, page 917 together. Yalla. Read the question.
Determine the number of congruent sides for each triangle. Then classify the triangle based on its sides.
Sides, not angles here, okay?
Yes.
How many congruent sides in the first triangle? هذا number 3. Do we have congruent sides?
No congruent sides.
So no congruent sides. So how many congruent sides we have?
0.
0. No congruent sides. Stop. If there is no congruent sides, what we call it?
I think scalene triangle.
Scalene. No congruent sides, we call it scalene. But why we don't use the angles?
Because the questions want us to use sides.
Because the question wants the sides. Mistake. So what we call this a triangle?
Scalene
triangle. This is a question 3. Question 4, guys. يلا. كنان. بعدين يحيى.
This triangle is have.
Yalla, this is a triangle. How many congruent sides we have?
2. We call it
2 congruent sides. What we call it? Isocels. There is no K. Isocels. The C is silent. Isocels. Okay? So in question 4, we have 2 congruent sides. And if we have 2 congruent sides, what we call it? Isosceles triangle. صح يا كنان?
Yes.
Guys, this C here is silent. Isosceles. We don't say isosceles or whatever. Isosceles. Okay? But question 5. Yahya. Question 5. How many congruent sides? No, we don't have congruent sides. Read the question in question 5.
And second one should.
Read the question, Yabni.
Classify each triangle based on its angle.
So here we'll do the other classification. Yell, do we have obtuse or right or the 3 are the upper angle, guys? It's big one, so we call it obtuse triangle. Mumtaz. Question 5. Obtuse triangle. Mumtaz. Question 6. Yalla, meen. Participate, guys. طيب عشان احط لكم زيروز بالمشاركه. حلو كويس. هاشم.
Yes.
يلا يا هاشم. Do you understand it يا هاشم?
Yes.
يلا. Question 6. See question 6?
Yes.
طلع على الانجلز. What we have here, all are what?
Not the same. Only 2 are the same.
يا ابني question 6 حبيبي. Question 6.
I see it, yes.
Here not sides يا ابني to say it's the same or no. Here we are talking about the angles. What we have? Acute angles. Do we have obtuse angle? Do we have right angle? What we have?
We have acute.
طلع على الثري. أيوة. اطلع على three angles. All of them are small angles, so they are acute. So if the 3 angles are acute, what we call the triangle?
Acute triangle.
ممتاز. Question 6, guys. Acute triangle. Question 7. Ibrahim.
Yes, mister. You hear me clearly?
Yes, يا حبيبي. يلا. Question 7. What we have in question 7? The angles.
We have right triangle.
There is a small square, guys, and we said if we have a small square means it's 90 degrees and we call it right angle. And if the triangle has right angle, what we call it?
Right triangle.
ممتاز. Right triangle. Question 8. No, we stop here, guys. We stop in question 7. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue. Don't do the homework. Just focus on your exam. Tomorrow, we'll finish this lesson and we'll do the homework together. And tomorrow also, we have online assignment. So, guys, we stop here. Hope you understand it very well. Watch the video again. It's an important lesson. Thank you so much and have a good day. Goodbye.